Hi guys, it's Wolverine here, guys. Just to remain in faith, guys. The notifications are coming, will be coming out, right? Just check your emails once in a while. But that's all I can tell you at the moment, guys. Okay, it's definitely coming. All right, God bless you guys. Bye bye. It is Thursday morning, guys. I hope you guys doing okay. I'm just about to go to work, actually, very soon. So, just a quick note, guys, and just letting you know that things are moving, guys. Some people are getting paid, okay, and private contracts are moving as well. So everything's moving, guys, and we should be able to celebrate any day. And hopefully, fingers crossed, by tomorrow. I know with it today, maybe it is today. I don't know. All right, it is a process, so everyone needs to be quiet, guys. So that's all I can tell you. Good, God bless you guys. Okay, bye bye.
Forwarded from Exodus 17. Postmaster General, America First, Falklands National Court. Spiritual Street Fighter, Trump card coming, 17.
At 11 a.m. Reno time today, that we could still get notifications this afternoon. That is news. That is straight news. That is not any discussions with anybody in here that might be psychic. So I just want you to know that that comes from a completely separate source. I had one person tell me that the dinar rate is going to be between 22 and 28.50. Now there, Tony has talked about 28.50 as a contract rate for the better part of 10 years that you can get at redemption centers. He seems to think you can get it at banks. I'm not sure you're going to be able to get it at banks, but lolly-poly, who cares? I mean, it's going to be a good rate no matter what. If that were the case, that would put the dong rate at about half that, or about $11. Now, those are crazy rates, but they would be really awesome if we got those. And the reality is nobody knows what the rates are. Again, the rates are solid on the screens, all the usual stuff you've heard over and over again. It does feel like it is imminent. And if it doesn't for some reason happen today, I would expect it no later than tomorrow as things stand now. I don't want to become the new Bruce or the new Wolvie and tell everybody, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But that's what people are telling me. So I'm simply coming back and repeating what people are telling me. I've had other people tell me over the last few months that, Wednesday, Thursday, that's not a day it's going to happen, because it's got to happen on the Forex on Friday. I don't know that to be true or not. And here's the one thing that is really interesting is it does seem that we kind of thought we would get our appointments first and maybe have a week or two to exchange, and then they would go with a public with a public rate on the Forex. I think maybe that they have eaten up all that time with shenanigans. So I think they can't do that now. Now I think it's all going to go at once. So that's kind of what I'm hearing on my side of things. Also, I want to clarify something. Somebody asked MarkZ yesterday about, what do you think about Mike Barra saying the dong rate was $4.29? Mike Barra never said that. Jen said a couple of years ago, 429. She didn't even know where the decimal.
That's for the dong. People don't pay attention.
Could be 0.429. Which would be 43 cents, which would still, by the way, be an amazingly good rate, because that $1 million piece of paper you're holding in your hand would be worth $430,000. That's enough, Jen, for me to pay off everything I owe and my house. So don't be disappointed. Or it could be 4.29. I don't think it's going to be 429, but it could be 4.29, which is an exceptionally good rate. Jen doesn't know where the decimal is. So keep in mind, I didn't say that. Jen said it. I will defend her for saying it. And I suspect when all is said and done, it's going to come out really close to that, because I trust the person on my right. So, Jen, the lovely lady with the lustrous hair, do you have any updates? Did you ask any questions today or have any updates for anybody?
It's still imminent. I don't have a lot, but it is still imminent. We're expecting rates to be posted any moment now.
Wow.
Inside information thinks the same thing. And for, somebody in the chat saying, Jen, how can you be talking to Jesus and the archangels and be wrong for years? Well, first of all, you haven't been paying attention. That's where we get the Gentel confirm phrase. It's because there has been a lot of information. You don't know anything about how psychics receive information. It's not that Jesus and God's divine archangels are wrong in any way. It is the receiver. It is how clean a vehicle you can be. Can you get out of your own way? Can you receive that information? That's all on me. And if I've been wrong, I've never had a problem with that. Also, it's just not probable that I could get this information time and time and time again, and everybody else who doesn't listen to me gets the same information after the fact. And we're all lined up in agreement behind the scenes. You people don't have the information that a lot of the truthers have and cannot talk about. So you don't know. But as far as Jesus and the archangels, they're never wrong. That would be me.
There's one other thing too, which is that these are the affairs of men. Another psychic before I met you described it to me as, these are the affairs of men. That's what her angels told her. All these guys can do is take a snapshot of where does it stand right now if all of the men who are supposed to do things do what they are supposed to do. Then it'll be Wednesday. So they don't control us. We have free will. God gave us that. It says so in the Bible. So what Jen is relating to you is what is most probably going to happen if nobody changes their mind. People change their mind. There's 8 billion souls on this planet. Okay, that's why. The angels are never wrong. Jen is never wrong. She's relating to you exactly what they say, and they are telling you what they hope, believe is the truth based on the world as they see it at that snapshot moment in time.
Yes, the choices of man can change the timeline and what that looks like. Just like in your life, you can either choose to get up and carry on, or you can choose to spend the day in the dark, in bed. How your life turns out for you is an accumulation of choices. Now, when you have something that is happening on such a large scale worldwide, there are many choices of men.
Yeah.
And that is what has happened. It's not that it is not happening or it is not true or that the current timeline or the current deadline is incorrect. It's that they, along the way, this is a hard fought war and they have made choices according to what obstacles they have on how to proceed. And it moves the timeline. So, first of all,
and there are
don't
literally
bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
Don't be ungrateful for your free lunch. You show up and listen to all these truthers, and they're doing their best to give you the information as of this moment in time. And all the psychic people trying to receive the information that they can get, depending on how clean their vehicle is. It's all interpretation of energy and turning that into language. Okay? So,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. You either got the stuff, you either got the strength to make it across the finish line, or you don't. And right now, we're all going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes any moment now. And the moment will come.
And again, the source that I like the most, trust the most, just said, look, there's no way this cannot happen. It will happen. Keep in mind, there are literally millions of human beings involved in the execution of this process. Any one of them could theoretically stall it, delay it, create a problem. Everyone has to be in alignment. And or not in a position of power. I've even been told that if I said the wrong thing, I could affect whether it goes or not. Bullshit. Okay, but there are people who are in positions of authority who can make changes. All right, Jen, let's get the question.
People asking questions, it just felt good to jump in. Al-Nasiri confirms the comprehensive banking reform project announced by the central bank will yield promising results. We have a couple of similar stories. It's all about that feel-good fluff, the fundamental changes they've made to the system, how they're going to pay, how they're already starting to pay, how they're going to pay even more in the future. There's one there. It's up to you guys if you want to take the time to read many of these. I'm going to hit them kind of quickly to leave more time to answer questions today. Iraq faces an oil market volatility with well-thought-out economic plan. They want you to know that, yes, oil is fluctuating, but they are prepared. They have stocked up reserves. They know it will balance out. And that's a great one because we can back right here to Nasiri, who is Sudani's top economic advisor. And he has said over and over and over, stop worrying about the micro shifts, the small swings. It's all about the overall level. What's it going to balance out at the end of, say, a year? If it dips because of tariffs for a couple of weeks, it's going to return to some level of balance. He's saying, stop overreacting. That in the grand scope of things, it's just fine. The long term shows it. The medium term shows it. It's only the short time that's funky. He keeps saying, hey, calm down. This is not as bad as people think it is. And, that makes a lot of sense. And boy, this one is nuts. The oil market volatility. I do like how this person broke it down and also pointed out that over the long term, it is going to stay stable, saying that if the oil price drops, China is so desperate for more energy at a better price that they soak it off the market. That with increasing tech for electricity demand is going to need more. In other words, a temporary reduction is only going to fuel a future demand or increased demand for that energy. Matter of fact, we're going to get into a little bit. Even Trump is preparing for that as well. So the point just being overall, stay calm. It will balance. And I loved how they broke it down, the economics, where if one market doesn't take it, it leaves the opportunity for lower priced oil or energy for another market, and it will balance itself out. I just loved how they're paying attention to basic economic theory. Do not blame yourselves in the future. This is another basic economic theory that I liked. And it is so common sense. So what we've got here is an economist commented at Lighthouse A1 Obadi on the high rates of Iraqi's internal debt, saying, if we are going to borrow money, blame yourself when it is time to don't blame your government. Don't blame whoever, blame yourself because you vote for them. When your grandchildren are saddled with debt, when you're saddled with debt, it's because you wanted more than you could afford at that time. And he's just pointing out, don't blame but yourselves, only yourself. You are who you blame if you don't squeal and scream about overspending. And that one really drove home because we didn't do that in the States. Our government has been overspending for 60 years, pretty much nonstop since we came out of World War II. And who was screamed? A few of us, Ross Perot, Donald Trump, a few leaders get up and ineffectually claim, oh God, we got to stop spending money or it's going to be too much debt for ourselves and our children. I am glad to see a country that's not in debt screaming before they get in debt to make certain that they keep their fiscal house in order. So I really enjoyed that one. And now here is your curve. And I'm wondering if this is your diversion or your curve that we've been looking for. Iraq on the brink of electoral crisis, Maliki, Sudanese conflict, and the postponement movement. There's a movement to postpone elections a little bit while they finish reforms. In Iraq, Maliki, who wants to return to power after 2 terms where they made zero progress, he's trying to climb to power. Maliki does want a revaluation too. He very much was in the Bush camp. He was pretty much Bush Jr.'s lieutenant for the region. But Maliki's trying to backdoor his way into power, chip away at Soudani, who is becoming just wildly popular. with the working class in Iraq because of how much he's accomplished. So I'm kind of wondering if this power struggle might be what we're looking for, the diversion to pull that reinstatement of value or change of value for the dinar. Another destabilizing move by Iran on the way out the door. Iran supplies long-range missiles to Iraqi militias, the same militias that the U.S. is trying to make certain stay disbanded. They pulled their support out of Yemen, but according to a couple of stories, in an unprecedented move, sources revealed to the British newspaper The Times that the Iranian Revolutionary Guards have recently transferred long-range cruise and surface missiles to arm militias in Iraq, in a remarkable shift that raises serious questions about the regional international repercussions. We're talking about missiles that could reach Europe. So of course they can reach in the area. Iran still trying to sow dissent to try to keep us, well, where we can't focus on them. We're got to be too worried about all the other security concerns. So I'm wondering if this is in other words, this Iran, Soudani, Maliki, whether this is the cloud cover they were looking for, the smoke screen to pull this. It just has me question it. Things are going to definitely start picking up speed. Before Easter, don't know. We do have great hopes. Both of my bond contacts had appointments yesterday are now going straight to voicemail, not even a ring. Don't know if that's a good thing or whether they were just very late meetings. They were late meetings in a different time zone. So it may simply be that they are resting, but I know that question is going to come up. And it should come up. I cannot prove that the lower denoms have been distributed. I have contact in Baghdad. My contact in the northern region has been out of country. So I can tell you there's no evidence that I can find that it's occurred. Not that bond contacts are unreliable. It is what they're being told as well. They're very reliable. They'll tell you exactly what they're being told whenever they can. They also have been warned recently of leaks, so they have to be very careful so that they don't lose their opportunity and lose their dollars. And when you're talking about life-changing money, if they had that deal, perhaps it's already completed. That we don't know. Or they're expecting it with days, and you're expecting, let's say, $800 million is what your payday is. Would you risk it to go in here and tell your buddy Mark about it, or would you just not answer the phone or say, look, NDA? I know for me, you guys would be just SOL on me telling you, because I want to be risking my family's financial future and my own just to make a bunch of people on the internet happy. Same way with some of the group leaders as well. They're just not willing to risk it, and I don't blame them. The negative is it leaves us kind of guessing around the sides based on what they're saying or not saying. Let's see, Jeanette, pick me. Just wondering, is there something we still need to see happen before 4B? Nothing that I can think of other than releasing it. It appears to me they've done everything. The bonds are definitely moving slower than expected. I've heard a number of reasons why, from politics to as simple as this thing drugged so long and a number of counterfeit ones were produced in China is what I am told. So the proofing, they are going to far more efforts to make certain that every bond is legit and only the legit ones are redeemed. So I'm certain that's causing some issues. Temple Swift, a ton of gurus seem to think it's going to happen this week. I think it's highly possible that it could happen this week based on what we're hearing bonds out. But they're going to have to, like my two missing contacts from last night, if they have dollars, then yeah, I'm going to get really excited. Most likely more on a weekend than it would be during the week. On the intel that I was receiving was later yesterday and going on for a couple of days this week. I was always told that they would want at least 30 or 40% of the historic bonds fully redeemed before they pulled the trigger on currency. So that would take them a couple of days if they did indeed start with those dollars last night. Somebody saying Bruce was excited last night. I'm telling you, the news I've been hearing is something to get excited about. I'm just trying to do my best to temper the excitement. Anna Liberated wants to know, the longer they wait, do you think more people are buying? Just probably as many people are buying and coming on as are selling and giving up. My guess is that's a wash. Stan, I'm very much anticipating the Danong exchange rate to go up. We also know that they are trying to get free trade. And one of the things Trump even made the comment that they need to stop manipulating their currency. They've been manipulating it down for better trade. So yeah, very much. We've that pressure's been going on for 5 or 6 years now on Vietnam to up their rate. Vonda, okay, if you hold historic bonds, are we still waiting for the RV and we take them when the RV happens? That's what I was told, Lavonda. I was also told that there is a chance they may not process the bonds when you do your currency until over the summer. In other words, they will take time after finishing this first group and before they are ready to vet, exchange, etc., the next round of historic bonds. You can hate me all you want for telling you that, but that's what I was told. We'll see if it holds out or whether they take them immediately. If the bond contacts did indeed go 3 to 4 days after massive adoption and payout is when I've always expected currencies to start. Bill and Linda, do the Chinese elders control the start of the RV? I really do think the Chinese elders are the ones putting up the gold are the ones that control the timing. Agro checks, I am told part of the reason they have a smaller payout than the 100T/whatever is because it is for our personal use. It's like 90% of people that hold agros are Christians, humanitarian minded. So they were like, they're going to do the right thing with the money anyway. So let's give them another opportunity. That's my understanding of why they added the agros.
The forks already know the funds are coming, but whoever speaks up loses everything. Dear brothers and sisters in the community of Antonio Diogenes, we address you in this moment of apparent stillness but intense inner vibration to lovingly and firmly remind you of the importance of silence. We speak especially to those who are connected to the process of economic redemption, a path of material restoration, financial justice, and promised abundance. This is not a common process, it is sacred. And like all that is sacred, it demands respect, discernment, and extreme care in every word. Many of you have waited for years for this opening. You have held codes, trusted the signs, resisted doubts, and preserved hope. Today, we feel the pulse of redemption beating close. However, it is precisely at this point, so close to fulfillment, that greater prudence and absolute silence are required. Those called holders, possessors of valuable instruments, legitimate rights, and assets awaiting release are observing a sacred rule: total confidentiality. The same is true for the whales, those with large movements in progress and responsibilities on a global scale. They do not publish, do not comment, do not anticipate. They remain silent, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because they understand that in these movements, every misplaced word can trigger interference, attract unwanted energies, or simply disrupt the order of perfect timing. Economic redemption is not just a transfer of funds. It is a reconfiguration of power, a restoration of balance, a long postponed promise that, when fulfilled, will mark a before and after. And this kind of miracle is not announced with trumpets. It is cultivated in the fertile silence of the initiated. Therefore, we urge you, do not share figures, do not reveal dates, do not feed rumors. This is not the time to seek validation on social media or to prove that you knew. Those who truly know remain silent and act when the time is right. Stay in high frequency, but invisible. As an ancient teaching says, when the blessing is arriving, remain silent so as not to scare it away. Yes, abundance is coming, but it comes to those who are prepared, not just financially, but spiritually. Remember that money that comes with purpose has a soul and must be used with consciousness. Silence in this context is also a form of responsibility. It is the signal that we can receive without destroying, manage without corrupting, share without losing our center. Soon the moment will come when the funds will flow, the keys will turn, and the doors will open. But in the meantime, we ask you to honor this stage with dignity and discretion. Silence is not emptiness, it is containment, it is respect. It is the voice of the soul waiting for its right moment to speak, with respect, composure, and clear vision.
964 Media. Signing of 2 memoranda of understanding in the field of electricity between Iraq and the United States. 964media.com. US Embassy, we signed billions of dollars and agreements with Sudan. to meet Iraq's energy needs. The US Embassy in Baghdad confirmed on Wednesday that it had signed multi-billion-dollar agreements with Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani through American companies to meet Iraq's energy needs. By 964 Media. Reported from Fight Back Earth official Amiel Alston. Alert. Reveal of the new rate incoming. Buckle up, buttercup. Addressing US sanctions on some Iraqi banks, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani clarified that the sanctions were based on past performance and revealed that all banking operations are now reviewed by a reputable international auditing firm. Forwarded from Amiel Alston, Parliament's Finance launching the reform plan for banks, starting to reform the economy, by Walter on April 7, 2025. Banks, Economy News Baghdad. Completion. Reveal of the new exchange rate. Stephen Miller on X, posted April 9th, 2025, 6:26 p.m. President Trump's master strategy, bold statesmanship, and brilliant tactical planning has done more to reform broken international trade in days than anyone has achieved in decades, while economically and politically isolating the global architect of economic aggression, China. Ariel posted on X. Alert hot off the news wire. Do you know how historical this is? Foreign currency investors, you need to be ready at all times from this point forward. Iraq already told you all what they plan to do over the next 30 days. Have your plan of action ready. Have your team in place. Have your strategy in place for implementation, because we are about to step into the next stage of this plan at any time. Eleanor Terrett posted on X. Just in a 52-44 vote, the Senate has confirmed Paul Atkins to be the next chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ripcord on X. This was posted 1:09 p.m. April 8, 2025. Q post 1440. Boom, 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 boom. A week to remember. Dark to light. Blackout necessary. Q. Many have been trying to figure out this post since it dropped back in 2018. Week 1 of this April, Trump gave us 4 booms in regard to tariffs, which got me thinking, what if each of the lines of this post represents a week in the month of April? Will this current week be a week to remember, and next week, dark to light? Week 4 of April, it has already been announced that on Easter Sunday, 4/20, there will be retail blackout. Trump told us back in 2020 Easter is the timeline, and that has caused much speculation about this April. Just a point of reference to keep our eye on this month, as Trump always says. Let's see what happens. Q post 1440, June 3rd, 2018. Then it points to the third boom. First week of April, Trump 4 boom comms. So, this week, what's the date today? I think today's the 10th. It's the 9th for the rest of the world. Next week is Easter, isn't it? So, 9, not quite. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The 4th week is Easter. A week to remember. 2nd week of April. Dark to light. 3rd week of April. Blackout necessary. 4th week of April. Easter. Q. So this is the shifting of timelines. The shift in timeline split. The new Earth splitting from the lower 3D Earth. This is happening now. Get right with God and your ascension. And so it is. Peace and all love. All the time for all humanity. We will see all the ascended on the other side. Back to eradication of all combined evil and rescues of all combined humanity. Update soon. Much love. VT. Forwarded from Valiant Thor 369. The Galactic Federation with the Cabal are planning urgent transmission to all ground crew. 8th of April. Schumann resonance. Why has it got the black, nothing there? Ascension Phases. Okay, so you have your awakening, dark night of the soul. Read through that. Thirst for knowledge. Yep, done that. Lost 3 of my accounts on TikTok. Boom, gone. Go shit. Family and friends fall away. High pitches in your ears. Ugh, all the time. Light flicker, visions and blurry eyes. Couple of times blurry eyes. No sex phase, chakra, pillar, recoding. Well, my husband died in March 2020. So of course there's got to be no sex. No alcohol. No alcohol phase, aura coding. No, I don't drink alcohol except on Christmas. Last time I drank alcohol, I was sick as a dog. Like worker on phase. The world flips and live in higher dimensions. The thirst for purpose. Oh, definitely. Just to tell my family, told you so. No, I wouldn't say that. Money talks. Keep my mouth shut about the money. The work becomes essential. DNA, galactic, fam connection. Third eye and downloads on high speed. Need community that understands. Skin breakouts, crystalline structures activating. Higher selves merging in you-know-things phase. Creation of new realities. 12, 24, 36 DNA strands work. Imagine how much knowledge in just one strand of DNA. Physical transformations, superpowers phase. Mastery phase begins, the higher works. Love is misinterpreted as an emotion. In reality, it is a state of consciousness, a way of being in the world, a way of seeing oneself and others. By Dr. David R. Hawkins.